Wise words there from one of my bros. Plotting, smoking, thinking, man, let's get this shit on road. Growing up, you see this shit, you need to make it through the struggle. Positive, negative, they both all under one.
Yo, what up, it's your boy UKGTR.
And I'm Vex, and welcome to episode 2 of ControllerSide Chat.
ControllerSide Chat, this is episode 2. We have two guests with us today, our very good friends, Star and Scooty. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Star, you want to go first, or Scooty? I don't know how you guys introduce yourselves.
What's up? I'm Star. Keep it real.
Yo, Scooty, also keep it real.
Alright, to the realest. Doesn't get any realer. Alright, Vex, what are we going to talk about today? Start us off with something.
We have some guests, so let's shine the light on them for a little bit. I know Star has some stuff to say, definitely.
Don't make me start. We'll go straight to Destiny, because Destiny is a horrible, stupid, horrible game right now.
We'll start with that. You're really...
Okay.
Talk about it.
You know what? So let's go on it.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like that about Destiny?
Why do I feel like that? I think if you actually look at it and you look online, I think Screamer by the name is Bife has a great video upon exactly what the game is missing. And to sum it up, he summed it up as depth. Depth, which is by his definition. I don't think he gave a very clear definition, but he gave one, which he says is basically that it has no sustenance. Basically, if I don't think I'm quoting them correctly because I watched this about a week ago, but let's explain it like this. All right, you have a gun. Like if anybody that plays Destiny knows, each gun has its own perks, right? Mm-hmm. For instance, take for instance Destiny 1. From Destiny 1, you have guns such as Fake Bringer, for example. You understand? On this gun, you have several perks, right? That's for instance, you have Outlaw, which I forgot what that perk does, but it does something amazing. Firefly.
I think and Outlaw is a quick reload after a kill.
Okay, quick reload after a kill. So every time you get a kill, you get a quick reload. You also have Firefly, where every time you kill something, right? The
headshot.
With a headshot, that enemy explode, causing them to tear everything around it. But and it also has other perks up on it, like it has a burn, for instance. And take for instance,
Arc burn.
Depth. That is depth. That gun has a lot of perks and a lot of depth. But on Destiny 1, the only perk that you have on your gun is something simple, such as explosive rounds. Take Battle Devils, for example. Battle Devils. The only thing that gun does is has explosive rounds, and that's one of the best guns on the game. It has no depth. And another thing you could say is upgrade trees. Like, what was your favorite class up on the game, UK?
Titan.
Titan, up on Destiny 1. What are some things that you can name from your Titan from Destiny 1 that are different from your Titan on Destiny 2 that you're missing? Well, for example,
I miss my bubble where I can choose with the blessings, weapons of light, where you can choose. I could customize my bubble to my play style, and for raids, for Crucible, it was my style. There was, like you said, there was depth. That's how you were saying it. There was more options.
Yeah, I feel like also you had the options of, instead of just being like a DPS with your Titan, like using what was the Arc one called? I'm totally forgetting.
Arc Strider. No. Striker. Yeah, the Striker class. Fist of Havoc.
The Fist of Havoc was definitely damage dealing. You were on the front lines with it. But in Destiny 1, you did have the choice to kind of pull back and be the defensive character and like the support character for your whole team, not just for yourself. Like, I feel like in Destiny 2, you only really have offensive. You can't really support your team very well. Like, all your supers are just... It took away the opportunity to play more than one role, I believe, like, in my mind.
Yeah. Scooty, you got anything for
Yeah,
Destiny?
definitely did. Definitely did.
Um,
Oh, that was just to scratch the surface, dog.
yeah, he's probably got way more on it
Like,
than I do.
let me elaborate more. Like for instance, me, I was a hunter main. You know, I love hunters. Everything about the
Whack
hunter is
hunter.
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
Oh, please don't start this. We all
Excuse me,
know
are
hunters
you
are the master
insulting my
race.
weak
Let's
ankles?
add that.
Quick angles.
That's the only downfall to Hunter.
But for say, it's certain things up on the hunter class, you know, that you could do on Destiny that you couldn't do. Like with the trees, for example. And like with the tree on the hunter class, you had choices, so many choices. You can choose between whether well on your tether per se. I'm gonna be real simple about it. With your tether, you can break it down. You can break your tether down to you could choose. You had choice. It was so much depth. You could choose between with your tether. You could choose between Quiver, Bloodbound, which Quiver is more crucible perk, more like a you get 3 arrows, which is a one hit kill each arrow, or you could choose Quiver which not Quiver Black Hole. I think that's what it was called, Black Holes, which you
Yeah,
only
makes
get one
sense.
shot, but you get to group together all your targets. You understand, and you
Did you
also
make
got
orbs with that one?
Bloodbound, which actually, if you tethered one of them, every enemy you hit, it actually killed all of them. Like, if you shot one enemy, it dealt damage to the rest of them. But on
Mm-hmm.
Destiny 2, tether has been, the skill trees have been so watered down to whereas it's like, you don't really have that option. You can't pretty much make
Yeah.
your hunter a badass.
You're not unique,
You know, like
really.
raids, for instance. Yeah, exactly. Like you can make a killer warlock. Moving on, you can make a killer warlock. You know, like for crucible purposes, with you know, you can flame seal people, then shotgun them, pop, and keep it going on and on and on. But now there's just no perks. There's no perks like that. No real sustenance to the game to keep you going.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a lack of depth. That's all I pretty much got on it. It's just missing something. You know, it was just so cool. You know. But now it's
One thing I
it's
found
like
with
just
Destiny,
dry.
sorry,
Go ahead.
stupid Xbox and it's lagging behind with audio. But one thing I found with Destiny, like as fun as it was, and like it's definitely one of those games if you like grinding, because that's really all it is, just continuous like grind until you get to max. But as much as they tried to implement a storyline, I feel like they never really made. They tried to like make characters that would stick with you, but I don't know. Sometimes the way that the missions worked, I never really felt as connected to the characters as I do in like other games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and the story just
With enough
felt like they were just trying to reach. They were
customization.
just reaching at some like at one point. It just felt like they were reaching. Like they kind of hit,
Yeah.
and then like all these new DLCs coming out. I feel like they're just reaching. They're like, we don't really know what to do, so we're kind of just reaching.
Want the money at this point, really. This
Yeah.
is what they want
Yeah.
from people. They won't listen. They won't do anything
Yeah,
about
and, like,
it, and they'll just keep
The
taking your
race-
cash.
So,
Everything's a money grab.
Yeah.
all
Fortunately.
right, we all know the problems with the game. I mean, we all been there. So, what do you guys think we could do? They could actually do to fix it?
Whew.
Ooh,
That's a good
yeah,
A loaded
that is
question.
a great
really.
question.
Well, what have other
Well-
fans been calling for on like forums and stuff? I've been kind of out of the
Yeah.
loop
Well,
with
most
Destiny.
people-
I fell off after
well-
they released the first DLC for Destiny
Yeah.
2. So
Well, which is the case with most people. But most people have been calling for like, let's say, random roles to come back. One thing, time to kill to go down. Mm, just for the game to feel more customized, more depth. Yeah,
Yeah.
more depth.
More
better-
MMO like.
Hmm.
I would say more RPG like in a way.
Yeah.
That when choosing your race matters too, because when you customize your characters, it doesn't really matter what race you choose other than looking at the backstory
Yeah.
and the lore
There's
and
no
being like,
benefit.
oh, I'm
Right.
an EXO, and like some people can make their own situations out of that, but it doesn't really translate to how you play, because that could be an EXO Titan I could be a human Titan, I could be an awoken Titan. It's
Right.
not gonna necessarily change how I play. But if you
Like your
choose a
stats or
game
anything.
like other art, like it's not technically. I mean, most games these days are RPG games, whether you wanna. But like if you look at like a heavy RPG game like Skyrim, and you can choose your race for your character. Like your race means something. So I felt like
Yeah,
maybe
that
they
would
could
be
add
cool.
something where your race means something. So picking your race, customizing your character means more than just I want to look cool when I take off my helmet.
Right, yeah.
I feel like Destiny
Yeah.
is more of an arcade RPG or MMO.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, at
you
this
said, they
point.
scratched the surface. They didn't go deep enough to where you can really categorize it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when I used to pick a Titan, I should feel like I should have more defense than a hunter or a warlock. You know, you pick a hunter, you should feel like you're way faster.
Yeah.
You're more stealth. You're more agile.
But you
Pick
really
a
end up
warlock,
feeling the
you feel
same.
like you should hit. Yeah, you're like it's all the same characters. They may
Unless you're
jump
jumping
different,
down a
you know.
ledge.
Yeah,
And
Your ankles will kill you.
break your
hunter
ankles.
ankles.
Yeah,
But
y'all
I
gonna
feel
get up
like-
off hunters today, all right?
I feel like three,
Dude, I love hunters.
Me too.
I
feel
know
like
Vex,
three-
is the only person that get a pass.
I was a hunter in Destiny 1, OG, okay? Alright.
Okay, yeah. Well, UK, you're not allowed to say anything about hunters, all right? Damn Titan sitting here talking shit about hunters.
I feel like if they do when they do Destiny 3, they should wipe the slate clean again, but make a deeper game. Like really try. Like
Right.
this 2 was a copy and paste with a few edits, but they're editing some of the edits to make it play like Destiny 1 again. So here we are back at point A again. You know, so I don't know.
You think there's gonna be a Destiny
Yeah.
3 at this point?
It's supposed to be 10 games.
Damn,
I
is it
They can
10
make the
games?
money.
I don't.
I mean-
I don't think because I think it depends on how well Destiny.
DLCs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They'd have
I
to
don't know
keep
how
drawing
they
if the
have
people
the
in.
deals-
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how
Oh,
they have
I
the
see.
story to drag it out. Because I felt like their
Yo.
story was dying after like the first DLC of Destiny 2. Like it just felt like such a reach for what I don't know. I was not feeling their story at all.
Speaking of the
Yeah.
story, I seen a video that said they saw the Osiris story was supposed to be in Vanilla Destiny, and they're cutting a lot of story that didn't make it. Cause remember, like the original like director or whatever left or whoever. Do you remember that before the game Destiny 1 came out? Like one of the creators left or whatever. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Do not remember that.
Oh, okay. But anyway, there's a guy that said that there's a lot of like content and stuff that was cut from 1, and they're bringing it back in the later games, and they're recycling content and trying to act like it's a new DLC, where they
Wow.
couldn't make it in time to put some of the stuff like Saturn, I think. The Osiris like storyline that was lost because the Osiris they said something about like the Vex symbols or something, and like those were all like it would have tied into the original storyline. So I don't know. I had to watch that video again. I want to link to the dude's
crazy.
like rant. I think I sent it to Star though. It was what was the angry guy? Angry Joe.
You sent
Angry
it to
Joe's
me,
reviews.
dude. But dude just sounded like he was
Yeah.
he been making bad videos. It's like year
He-
one. Clean that.
Well,
clean that poop.
he's angry.
Why-
Joe.
why-
That's his MO. He's angry.
Yes,
He's
yes.
going to give you the real. He's not going to pull no punches.
Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Man, that's crazy.
They'll do anything to keep the money coming their way and keep the people.
Pretty much. That was the
Occupied.
point of Everest. Was to help
Yeah.
them make their quota.
That's crazy.
But at least they
mean, they'll
didn't
just keep
make
taking
it pay to win. What they did is they
Yeah.
made
Right,
the paid
right.
stuff more
It was all
cosmetics, which
cosmetic.
is great
yeah.
because there are a lot of games now that are doing pay to win, which is
I mean, they do some
Yeah.
things right.
Like
But
2K.
a lot of things
oh
they
my
don't.
god.
because
NBA,
EA,
2K.
right? All
Yeah.
the sports games are all EA, right? Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I don't play any
literally came
2K.
in to pay for the game all right, pay your $60 for the game. Oh, did I also mention you have to lay down like another $60 in in-game stuff in order to be able to like have like
Basically.
any
More than
chance of
that.
winning? And you're like, oh,
Tell them,
okay.
sir. They had you stretching your pockets.
Yeah, tell me
That's
about
crazy.
it, man. And I spend a lot of money on video games, so yeah. I just stopped. It. But these days there haven't been many games coming out that have really been great. You know, like I'll
Right.
buy something because the marketing for it is just amazing, and then you
All
play
the
it and it's
budget
just
goes.
trash.
Yeah.
Market,
I
they
feel
hype
like the
people
hype,
up.
the hype is so much
Yeah.
better than the games at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how they
exactly.
hype Destiny 2 up. All these
Yeah.
different dance moves and stuff. Where they
People go
come from?
pre-order. They already got your
Well, what
money.
I think everybody what they actually do doing these days is they put the games out too early. You know, no one's taking the
Mm.
time. You understand? Capitalism is killing the game. You know, the big companies are always like they're just driving people to just put it out as quick as possible so they can quickly make the money off of it, right? And once
Yeah.
they get it out, once they get the games out, they got to keep the money flowing. So it goes into the pay to win, as we call it. The But the companies can make money. You know, they want to quickly make money. But a lot of times with the game developers, you know, they putting out these games that that they that they don't really feel is finished. That's why they take so much time upgrading it and adding new elements to games, and and that's why you get all these patches on video games. Like, we didn't know that was wrong. Like, ain't no way in hell you should be putting out a game and you know it's issues with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Half-ass.
or within a week a user finds an issue. I mean, if there's something wrong with the game, you as a user shouldn't find that shit for months. You know,
Right.
if the game was made, if the developer took the time to actually make the game and put his heart in it, you know,
Right,
you can
yeah.
tell really good games that they put their heart in because they they're constantly put off. You know, like I think Crackdown 2, well, is it 3? Is
Ooh,
going to
I
be a
can't wait
really
for that.
great game.
Oh, Leo.
You know,
Yeah, I love the Crackdown
One's
series.
available again. I just downloaded it.
Oh,
If
shit,
you, like, had
really?
on your, yeah, you can re-download.
yeah,
her,
it actually is.
Crackdown.
They remastered it.
What?
I don't know if they remastered it, but they brought it over from 360. It's still.
Oh, I
It's one
think
of the
they brought the
360
graphics
games.
up and remastered it, bro.
Oh, I don't know. It
I'm
look
not
the
for
same to me.
certain though. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, don't quote me either. But they look the same. But yeah, it's on there. It's on the stove.
Awesome.
All right. What else you got for us, Vex?
I was quite enjoying the video. I was just like enjoying listening to you guys.
They went from Crackdown.
Yep. My inner nerd came out.
It's okay, because we're all
happens.
good.
That's why we're here.
Oh,
we're all just-
$3.74.
You know, and the
What?
bad thing is I'm actually playing a video game while we're doing this.
Oh, damn.
I
Y'all,
was
y'all
gonna,
don't even have my
Hardcore.
100% attention. I'm sorry.
I was gonna play Skyrim or something while we were doing this, but I was like, I know I'm gonna lose attention to one of either like listening and talking with this, or I'm gonna like not pay attention to Skyrim and die, or I'm gonna just be sitting here and you're gonna be like, Bex, where are you? And I'm just playing Skyrim, like completely forgetting
You
what
like,
I'm
huh?
doing.
Yeah, 1 second.
No, you can't. I'm on Resistance Rail 13 right now. We're about to go
Oh
get
my
the
God.
cast.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, if anybody's been playing Destiny, not that Division recently, they know
Division.
that at round 13, yeah, shit get crazy.
No, I haven't played
On the
Division in a
Asian
long
file
time.
separate.
No,
Division's
that's
fun.
round
I've been
15.
playing
That's
that.
round 15.
Round 15. But yeah, Division.
But
is
you
fun.
know, that's
Like,
the chance where
I've been
most
playing
people
it
go
over.
get the casts, though. The 2
Yes, sir.
casts for the classified gear sets.
Um, So last week we got into a lot about like current topics as well as video games. So
Right.
with
Right,
other
current
people here
topics.
who have like a different view other than like me in UK, there was some of the stuff going on. Like I know schools have been on strike, which means a lot more kids on video games. But I think you have some firsthand
Don't get me
experience with
started
this
on
one.
that. My kids have been home for a whole week because teachers want to go on strike. You know, how much
That's
do you
crazy.
guys think teachers make a year?
Not
Not
a
a
lot.
lot.
I can go.
Yeah.
See, average teacher salary.
I forgot to turn off. Never mind.
Let's see. What is the average annual salary for public school teacher? How much does a public school teacher make? The median annual public school teacher salary is $55,259 as of March 29, 2018, with the range usually between $48,000 and $63,000. However, this can vary widely depending on a variety of factors. So,
Right. All right. So basically, 50,000 a year, right?
Okay.
You know what bothers me is that teachers make $50,000 a year. You know how, and they get the summer off, the whole summer off. So in essence, you know, most people, the average income, medium income in most places, besides higher places like New York, California, you know, but the majority of the nation, 50,000 a year is the medium income for the country. By medium, I mean that's the average that everybody makes, that per capita.
Okay.
You know, so you telling me that you can make what most people make in a year in 7 months and then go on strike for more money? That kind of bothers me because you get the whole summer off. That kind
Well, I
of
think they
bothers me.
work during the
Everybody could
summer.
use a little more money.
Like they plan
no,
classes
grading
and set stuff up.
That's the thing, though.
projects and
the
That's the
kids.
thing, though. They all don't work during the summer. You volunteer to work during the summer.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, so my mom
I don't
works
know.
at a school. She works in the main office. So she's not a teacher, so like if anyone is like anyone listening who is a teacher may have a bit of different, but my mom works in the main
That's
office.
just my
and they work
opinion.
through
I'm
the
sorry.
summer.
I don't speak
Yeah.
for the
that's
whole
Star's
Yeah, well, yeah.
opinion.
But my mom
Don't hit me with your rulers.
when like anyone who works in like the main office has like secretary or administrative positions, they work over the summer. So if let's say school district uses all their like I'm in New York, so we have snow days. Like obviously if you're in like Florida, I doubt you're gonna have snow days. You'll have like hurricane days. I don't know what you have if you're in tropical areas. But in New York, the winters we get a lot of snow, so we have snow days. And if a school district uses all their snow days, they'll kind of take days back from breaks. So like maybe one less day for winter break or like one less day for their spring break, which means they basically have to go in an extra 1 or 2 days throughout the school year to make back what they lost for the snow days. And they usually either will take it from like the end of the year or they'll take from like I was saying, spring break is a big one that they usually take from because winter break is usually when all the snow is happening. But like administration
they get
works
spring
in the
break?
summer. Teachers, yeah. So teachers get every break the kids get. So even on summer, most of them they're not working in the school. Like my mom says, barely. Like maybe a few teachers will come in, like once or twice, but for the most part, the school's empty except for custodians cleaning the rooms, and maybe the teachers are planning curriculum and stuff. But a lot of teachers just reuse curriculum. So in a way, it's not like every year they're remaking the curriculum. The only time I would actually see that is like when they brought out in New York, I don't know other states, but like Common Core math, where they basically
Common
changed the
Core.
entire math
It's the
curriculum.
same
Yeah. So
in Texas
that
and in
might be the only
Oklahoma.
time that I really see them doing enough work over the summer to be like to make this strike
seem
I don't know,
reasonable.
yeah,
Oh,
seem
yeah.
reasonable. But
Just
I don't know. They
thinking
get all
about
the
it in
breaks.
my-
I say it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, really.
Just thinking about it from my perspective, all the breaks and time they get off, you understand? You know, teachers actually get paid extra to work during the summer. You volunteer for that. You get paid for that. You understand? But from
All right,
my
now, hold on.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, never mind. All right.
But from
All
my
right, now putting that
understanding,
aside, oh shit, am I going to you? Go ahead.
from my understanding, man, they get every holiday off. They get holidays that you don't get off. Like UK, you were working at a retail store. We're gonna say a retail store
retail.
because we're on mic.
I'll edit that
All right,
out.
right. How many
I'll edit that
holidays
out.
did you get off?
Shit, none. All we
How
got was
many-
Christmas
how-
Day.
How many
Christmas
how many
fucking day.
breaks did you get? Did you get spring break off?
0. Fuck no.
And teachers make more than you made at the retail store, right?
About 30 G's more than I make.
I'm
Most
just
of the time
saying.
they're sitting.
This is what I'm saying. This is they went to school for a long time. You understand? I understand that for the education, that's a great argument for the education and the time they put in into developing their craft and to coming up with situations to where coming up with the credentials they need to be a teacher. You know, I can understand them wanting more money, right? Like more. If you compare how much education that a teacher needs compared to how much education a doctor needs or certain other people, you understand? Yeah. They should make more money based on education wise, based on the qualifications you take. But at the same time, but the amount of work and the amount of off time, I say they're fairly compensated. Yeah. Just my opinion.
I was just about to defend them, but until you brought up my job, goddamn it pissed me off. You're right. I'm on your side now. I was just about to defend them and say, oh, you know, they put up with the dangers with all these school shootings and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But after you just said,
topic, but I'm just saying, they're a little greedy right now.
I'm on your side now. I was just about to defend them, but goddamn, you got me fired up.
But from like a parent's perspective, Star, because obviously now your kids aren't in school, so like what are they doing all day now? Like you would probably rather see them go to school, get their education.
Driving him crazy.
But now,
my daughter sleeps till
home.
I mean, I don't. I mean, for the average family, not my family, because I make too much money. I actually have to pay for lunch. But for the average family, they can cut into their budget. You understand? You know how much meals cost? You understand? The school provides certain families, if they make over less than a certain amount of money, they provide them with free lunch. You know how much stress that can put on a family during the teacher strike? You know how much it costs to feed a child? It costs a lot. You know, with those meals that the school provide, breakfast, lunch, none of that meal has to come out the parents' pockets. You know how much the average cost of food per month for me over the summer goes up at least $100 to $200 a month. Every time I pay for food. So that's, if you actually add that up, that could actually equal, for some families with more kids than I, that could actually equal up. Well, let's go per kid. Per kid, that could add up to at least $1,200 a year. That per kid that a family is losing. You understand? Because this teacher who makes probably more money than that family, you understand, wants to go on strike.
Yeah. Shoot, we should go on strike at working retail.
I mean, I suck.
Some strike. We want some more days off. We wanted some more money.
You think workers like that would go on strike more so than teachers?
Yeah,
I guess just because all the shootings.
They hide it behind justifications such as, "Hey, we need books for the students." You understand? But okay, certain schools in certain neighborhoods, I agree with that. But if you live in my neighborhood where I live, I'm sorry, you can't tell me you need new books. Everything you get, because on the post that I live on, the schools actually get funding from the state and the federal government. You understand? Wow. There's no way in hell they should be on strike with the rest of these teachers, but they want to be teachers friendly. So in essence, they just got a whole extra week off work. You understand?
Yeah.
Well, my kids, they're hurting families. You know.
Is this strike only where you are, or is this a U.S. wide strike, or is it just in the states?
Right now, it was Oklahoma and Kentucky.
Okay.
So 2 states.
Oklahoma and Kentucky right now.
Sure, it'll spread.
But
it's popular
now.
They're winning right now.
I see.
Kentucky already
takes up tax hike to halt week-long teacher strike. Damn. So is that all
also,
we
they're
have to
actually
do
making strides. That's it.
Yeah.
They're making strides that easy just by striking for a week.
I feel like it just has to do with the fact that it's affecting other
parents,
families.
Families are complaining right now. So families can't complain against the teachers, you know, because that's a private. Most cases, that's a private a job. That's a job. They can only complain to people who they can complain to, the people who make the laws. You understand why? Because those people we actually pay. You understand? We pay those people because some schools are private. You understand? You can't really strike against them. I mean, the teachers from taking a stance because their paycheck comes from the company. They're not striking against us per se. They're striking against the people who actually pay them. You know. So you can think of a teacher as a common taxpayer. They basically pay themselves. You know, if they work in the public school system. You understand?
Yeah.
But they're striking against their city and their local government. You know.
Makes sense.
So why can't they just fire
that's who
the
cuts their
teachers? Why can't they just fire
That's
those striking teachers and rehire new teachers?
There's a lot of teachers.
Because the qualifications come in. That's the
I'm gonna
thing.
see the picture I just pulled up. There was like 1 million teachers in the Union Hall or whatever this is.
But then you also have to take consideration even if they wanted to try to fire teachers, don't a lot of them have like tenure, which makes it very hard to fire them.
Yeah, well, it's hard to fire a government employee no matter what. There's so many things that they have to go through to fire us. You know, so many steps. Yeah, that it takes to fire a government employee, which is why a lot of people prefer working for the government, even whether it be city or federal. You know.
Now, why is it so hard to fire government employees?
Because it's certain steps and certain things. We have rights, basically. We have rights.
So us non-government
and
people.
benefits.
You have more rights than us if you work for the government.
Well, is it not? Well, let's change it from rights to benefits. You understand? We have benefits and programs in place that it'll look very bad, and we can actually sue them for firing us for justified reasons. You know, and you had to justify firing us, like really justify.
Really?
You understand? Like me, I can come to work and say I'm gonna sue everybody, and not get fired.
What?
Oh yeah, it's just
That
terrible.
They'll
doesn't
send me
seem
to
logical.
Well, I might get fired in the long run, but they'll send me to They had to send me counseling before they fired me.
Oh, so you're kind of just protected.
Yeah, there's more protections. It's more protection.
Yeah, because I work a retail job. If I walked in and said that, they're like, "Get out of here!" and we'll call the cops.
Yeah,
Right.
probably call the cops on site. Really.
Definitely calling the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of sucks. I mean, but that's
Retail
the nature of
sucks.
the beast. I mean, it's more money to be had in the private sector, though. Actually, I mean, you cop out on the money for the benefits because, I say a person doing my job in the private sector could possibly make maybe like 20,000 more than me a year, but they won't have all the benefits that I have.
Gotcha.
If you don't mind me asking, what is it that you do?
I basically I'm basically a transportation manager, transportation planner. You know, I
You gotta
basically
tell them where they don't know your background.
I'm a transportation planner. Well, if you look up transportation planner, you'll see what it is I do. I don't want to tell
I
the
was gonna
world.
say, just tell them for the U.S. military. Just
Oh
meant,
yeah,
like,
for the U.S.
that meant-
military.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Just for those
Yeah, I
that
don't
didn't
know.
understand like where you're coming from.
Yeah. I didn't even understand. I was like, what?
Yeah,
You're a
some
what?
of the stuff I do is can be considered secret or classified, so I
Right,
can't really
right.
get
Yeah, that's why I said just tell them you got.
So you
military
have to share
background
all the
is what I
government
was-
secrets right here, right now.
Yeah.
I probably
For
don't know
everybody.
any government secrets.
Did George Bush do 9/11?
Good answer.
Are there
understand?
aliens in Area 51?
I have no
Yeah.
idea. I've never been
Was
here.
the ET game really buried in the desert? I gotta know.
You see all those things I'll say are probably on a need to know basis. That's how the government works. You don't even know what you need to know.
Above my
And me,
pay
I
grade.
personally
Oh,
don't
that's
even know that.
Personally, I don't really like the government. They can come after me. It's too controlling.
Scooty just leaves the party.
Yeah, I
Like,
just
what?
get,
Scooty? I don't
you
know.
just hear stomping and shouting, and then
You hear glass breaking, she just disappears.
I know all the teachers out there are
They
probably
send in
gonna
a
hate me,
clone.
but hey, I'll take that blow. I'll take that blow.
Yeah,
Not a
star. Don't hit us.
I don't think
with
they're gonna
rumors and
hate you.
erasers. That
I
was
don't
all
think they're gonna
Star.
hate you for an opinion.
Had
I mean,
nothing
it's
to
an
do with that.
opinion.
I think they need to rethink their argument though. Yeah.
Right. They have it kind of cushy from what I see. I mean,
I think they
I
kind of
understand
won.
your point
I
of
think
view.
it's over already.
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
much-
they've
Yeah,
already
they
got
won
it.
because they put pressure on the elected officials.
Big time.
Yeah, they put pressure on elected officials to raise their pay, but the way they put pressure on it is that we get to see our kids every day, basically.
Right. All the families
Mm.
complaining, and then they don't have anything,
Yeah.
but they can't do anything but raise the pay or do whatever they were striking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Oh,
like if like
yeah.
a retail worker strikes, they'll be like, oh, whatever, like we'll fire you, we'll hire new people, whatever.
Right. We'll just rehire
Right.
But like
more
You're
people.
just
also like
trash
with the
them, kind of.
teachers also they have so much added pressure of the fact that there are these kids now that aren't going to be able to get their education, whether it's for a week, but they don't know if it's going to just last the week. They don't know if it's going to last a month. They don't know if it's going to last
Right.
until it actually happens. So that puts added
Right.
pressure on elected officials to be like, we need these kids back in school for multitudes of reasons.
yeah.
It keeps kids out of trouble,
But
depending on the area, because it keeps them busy
Yeah.
during the middle of the day. Some families, like you were saying, rely on those free meals because they just don't have the income to necessarily provide, and that school
Right.
can.
That's 2 meals a day. I mean,
Yeah.
you only have
That
to
is
provide
2
one
meals a
if they
day.
go to school. So,
How long was school? Was school 8 hours? I ain't been to school in forever.
school
So-
is like you can say
Like
from
6.
8
Yeah.
to well, my daughter goes to school right now from 8:30 to 3:45. So it's roughly it's a little less than 8 hours.
Okay.
But teachers are there later than that. You know, I mean sometimes
Right.
teachers are there on the weekends and all type of craziness. But I don't mind that. I mean that's the profession they chose. They knew the hours. You understand?
exactly.
And I mean, you chose this. You knew the pay, you knew the hours, you knew everything about it. You understand? Why are you?
I mean, but it never hurts to ask for more. I mean, strike is a bit extreme, but I mean, if it gets results, more power to you.
You know,
But I'm always
has
forgetting
anybody
my
seen
money.
the new
I'm
Roseanne?
always forgetting my money. No, I haven't.
Oh, I seen it, and they made this perfect joke for this, right?
Okay.
Well, it was Roseanne, the grandmother, the mom, her daughter, and the mom's daughter, her granddaughter, right? The granddaughter asks the moms for money, and the daughter looks at the mom and says, "Hey, can I have some money?" And the mom looks up at the sky and said, "Can I have more money?" That's basically the answer. You understand what I'm saying?
Roseanne
Where is
always
this money
classic.
going to come from that they're asking for? Where is it going to come from?
Doesn't just grow on trees
True
or
that.
fall from the sky.
Taxpayers, more taxpayer
Exactly.
dollars. or
I
where
mean,
you
but that
expect
money,
this
most of
come
that
from.
money is already allocated. They had to rob Peter to pay
Right.
Paul if we're going to pay them more money.
True.
Which
Some
is-
schools,
And they're holding the kids hostage.
Pretty much.
You understand the future of
You're
our
denying
children.
them other education.
Oh, this is horrible. Probably the teachers gonna hate me.
Yeah. That star, by the way. Yeah,
Voicing your opinion?
conversation.
all right. So we're just
Nothing
gonna release
violent.
your address so everyone can send you hate mail. No kidding.
Right, yeah.
Right. They gonna do a drive-by on Star.
Oh, rip.
We do not promote violence in any way,
Textbooks.
shape, or form.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm a bad guy. Somebody got to make this point.
Somebody.
But you're
got
also
that
looking
thing,
at it
right.
from like a parent's point of view who has kids.
Yeah, you
who are
have
being
a
affected
better
by
point of
this.
view. Like
Yeah.
this is affecting you 100%. We're all out of high school, so it's not bothering us.
Right. None
I
of
mean,
us
but
have
some of
kids.
y'all are in
so-
college.
College
You know,
or like that.
some of y'all face these
Yeah,
same
but college
issues.
teachers, they're not protesting, are they?
Professors, not that I know of.
They make more than teachers? Or
Oh,
is
wow,
it
yeah,
the same
yeah.
salary?
Professors do
Yeah.
make more money than teachers because they're paid by the
A lot of
school.
them-
Probably.
Yeah, some of them.
It depends
have
on which system you
PhDs and doctorates and whatnot. So yeah, depend. And most of these schools are making so much money off the kids that they can afford to pay them more. Like some of these school districts actually cannot afford to pay these teachers more. Like paying the teachers
Wow.
what they're being paid now for some school districts are even a stretch. There's a town, like even near me, it's economically it's at like basically at the bottom, and like the teachers they can't afford to pay these teachers more if it's coming from the taxpayers. These people can't afford to up their taxes. So thankfully we don't have strike. We haven't had any strikes here in New York. I mean maybe like a small one that no one's heard of, but definitely not like what's going on in the other states. But like
There's
just some
an old argument that said, do you think teachers should make more than athletes?
yes.
How do you guys feel about that?
I feel like they definitely should make more than athletes because they went to school for that shit and they have to deal with kids all day. Athletes, I mean, yeah, you have a hard profession where you're working your body to extremities and like you're pushing yourself as far as possible, but you're also just playing a game at the end of the day. You're playing basketball or football, something fun that some people do in their free time. So, I mean, you're making so much money.
Play the game. I mean,
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
agree with what you're saying. I can get behind it, but I know how hard athletes actually work as well.
Oh yeah,
though, you know?
they work
Yeah.
the hell
Play
hard.
the whole lives.
It's definitely hard. You got to train for it. You got to put a lot of time into it. But
I think
on a certain level,
teachers
I don't know.
should make. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Scooty.
No, you're right. No, I was just thinking on a certain level, I feel like teachers should make more because, you know, the schooling, the kids, I feel like it's a little bit harder profession. Not maybe physically wise, but maybe intellectual. So, I mean,
Yeah,
And emotionally, because
yeah.
God knows some teachers
Yeah.
want to just slap some kids across the face.
and kids can get
But they
violent.
never
Like, I've
get.
seen kids get plenty of violent. I mean, I've
Oh,
had kids
yeah.
flip desks in front of teachers. I mean, hit teachers,
Yo.
kick teachers, all of that.
Average NBA salary $6.2 million. That was
Yeah,
from
see that?
2016 to 2017.
You see,
Yeah,
I
and
was
it just
Average
goes up.
MLB $4.4 million. That was 2016. Hockey
You know-
$2.9 million. NFL $2.1 million. What is MLS? Is that soccer?
MLS.
Probably. I don't know what that is actually.
I don't know. I think that's
300,000. Okay. But yeah, it's wild. And a professor at Harvard said 180,000.
Right, see, there's the problem right there.
Yeah,
Harvard.
yeah. That's definitely a problem.
And that's the highest of school. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Right.
college, one of the highest colleges. 180,000 versus 2 million for sitting on the bench in the NBA.
That's
I
crazy.
agree that teachers
6 million,
should
excuse me.
make more than certain athletes.
Right.
Certain, not the top tier guys, but
Right.
certain
Where
athletes.
LeBron said
Like, if
31
you-
million.
Oh yeah,
God
yeah.
damn.
But here's the thing though. Here's the thing that bothers me about that topic is that being a teacher, you understand, teachers come from more of a public background to where they're more
Right.
civil service. You know, athletes, we don't have to pay them all that money. We do not have to pay them all that money. We actually choose to pay them all that money. You
It's
understand?
all endorsements, right?
They make most
Well, it's
of their
because
money.
everybody enjoys the game.
No, the money comes from let's say capitalism. It comes from like the capitalist system. You understand? They provide a service and we pay them, right?
Right.
You understand?
Gamblers.
Entertainment.
It's
Yeah.
it's privately owned. You understand?
Right.
We
okay.
made
That makes
we made
sense.
that choice to privately pay them that much. You understand?
Okay.
Teachers chose to enter this public system. You understand? System
So
funded by
instead
the
of picking
government.
up a book, they should have picked up a basketball. Is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
Gotta learn how
I'm
to
just
dribble.
making the
Oh,
point
okay,
here.
okay.
I never said that.
Okay. Okay. Got
All
it.
right.
I mean, it makes
All I'm
sense.
saying is
Continue.
that they knew what they were getting into when they got in it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, of course, as far as the make the feel good happy moments, teddy bear, hug a teddy bear, rainbows
Like a table.
and unicorns and pink unicorns
Okay.
to make everybody
Okay.
feel better. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that teachers should make more money than athletes. But
Okay.
being realistic, you knew what the hell you was doing when you did it.
But think about it.
Let's be
If
honest
teachers
about it.
made, think about it. If teachers made more money than athletes, you know how many people would be striving to be a teacher instead of playing basketball? We would have a lot of more, I think, invested in our education system. Like, look at Japan versus our education system and how they're more serious about it than I think we are.
And teachers still make
Right.
less than athletes over there too.
Where we got what, like third graders
How the world's
reading
fucked
at
up.
kindergarten levels, or there was a report not too long ago saying how low our reading levels were at like higher grades.
Oh wow.
Let me see if I can find it. I can go ahead and keep talking. So while I look this up, let me see.
But here's the thing. The thing. How much education does one really need to succeed in life? You understand?
Decent amount.
Do we really need?
I feel like
I don't
it
use a lot of
depends.
math.
I feel like it depends on what you're
Need to be
aiming
math
for
in
in
a
life.
couple of other
Yeah.
subjects. Does everybody need to learn more than reading and math in a couple of other subjects? You understand?
I
See,
feel like
that's
to an
the
extent,
thing that gets
yes.
me. Well, okay, that's the thing that gets me. You understand? Yeah, to an extent. You understand? Teachers chose to pursue a higher level of learning. Some people choose to pursue higher level of learning. I think it should be different. It should be different. It should be based on, in my opinion, I speak for me. In my opinion, it should be based on your output. You understand? How much you make should be based on what you do, your performance. You understand? If you perform great, let's say if you're a teacher and you raise you raise the level of people who score over 26 upon the ACT. You understand? Up from 10% to 70%. You understand? In your class, yeah, that teacher should make more money than the athlete. But if you're a teacher and you just fucking there and you just there teaching and most of your class score
Passing
like
students
a 14.
through. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
On the ACT, you
They're
shouldn't
good
make
at that.
you shouldn't make
Pushing
that money.
these kids through.
And
That's
I'm
what
sorry,
happened to me.
in my experience, certain school systems, there are more teachers that coast than there are that achieve
Oh yeah.
higher standards, and they're riding the
Definitely.
I think
bandwagon
that's
right
life
now.
in general.
Yeah, there's a
It
lot of
is like that
coasters.
person that sit on the bench shouldn't make as much money as LeBron.
Yeah.
Right. He just
You
makes
understand?
6 though. Remember, he's only making 6 and LeBron's making
LeBron's making
31,
like 30. Yeah. Holy fuck, LeBron.
I think
Jeez.
I think it should be. Actually, none of y'all brought that up. I actually think we should apply that system. Apply that same pay system to the teacher system. You
To
understand?
the teachers. Okay, so if you work hard, you get paid more. Okay.
Based on your stacks. You understand? That's
On
how
your class average and like grades, right? Your test
Yeah,
scores.
I mean,
like they take all that in consideration.
like, look, it should be a base salary. Yeah, base salary, $50,000 a year. Basically, what they making now.
Right. How much
right?
you putting up on the boards? Okay, I hear you.
And
now.
you should
Look
get
at
more
teacher
money.
stats.
More money based
And
on
they should
how
get
well
cards
you
and
perform.
everything, right? Get playing
Yeah.
cards from the teachers.
No.
Holographic.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
You got the math teacher.
More money
You get
based
that new
on how
Miss
you
Cranberry?
perform.
Oh my God, I love Miss Cranberry.
But if you apply,
Go ahead.
me personally, if you apply that system to anything in life, anything,
Yeah.
I think it'd be better.
Right.
You
I mean,
understand?
it's a really good idea.
Based on what you
Like
do,
something.
you make more money. I mean, if that's even
Yeah.
somebody at Walmart. You understand? If you at Walmart, and, hey, you are an outstanding customer service rep. You come to work, you do your job, you stack these boxes orderly and neatly, and your output is way better than your coworker who comes there disgruntled, scrubs all customers, cusses people out, has multiple incidents and reports of wrongdoing.
Right.
You understand? You pay that person the base. Like, that's all they deserve. But you have people that work
Okay.
hard and achieve higher. You pay them more. You understand? That's what I'm for.
Right.
I believe in hard work. You understand? You work hard, you
Okay.
should be rewarded. You understand?
That makes
Sounds
sense.
That's
Yeah.
that's in essence what bothers me about this teacher strike. You understand? You don't work hard enough to strike for a pay raise. Some of them, not all of them.
A lot of teachers
everybody.
coast.
Some of them.
I mean, yeah. I went to public
While
school
we're on
and
the
it was
topic of
bad.
teachers, oh, go ahead. Yeah, I went
No,
to public school
that was it.
too. You know,
I'm
It's
sorry, I
coasting.
didn't
I am,
on y'all
yeah.
screen. I'm sorry.
No.
no. While we're on the topic of teachers, how do you feel about these young teachers sleeping with these children? Like,
Oh, God.
what's going on? It's like epidemic.
Damn, that's heavy.
Like,
Okay.
where was that when I was going to school? You know what I'm saying?
I'm
just
gonna plead the
saying.
fifth.
Hey,
God
I'm not touching
damn.
that one.
Yeah, I don't got nothing on that one.
Okay, next time, that's fine. Okay,
You
we
guys
can
are
move
playing
on.
the fifth.
All right,
I
that's cool.
automatically have to assume that.
But I will say this: though,
Oh,
if I
shit.
was in there, and the teacher was hot, and some of these teachers that these students and told them, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God.
Somebody got to teach these kids to stop snitching. They ain't teaching them right. I'm leaving it alone.
God.
That's a joke. That's a
All
joke.
right, we'll leave it alone. It's a joke. Don't sleep with your teachers, children. Yeah, we teach them.
Not all
I'm
of
not
them are
encouraging
going to
that.
get that A.
Right.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, they get that A plus.
Don't sleep with Miss Bessie, who about 65
leave Miss
years
Bessie
old.
All right, well, if her name is
Oh,
Miss
damn.
Bessie, you can 100% guarantee I
Yeah.
wouldn't sleep with her.
Yeah, right.
Got that gray hair and the chain on the eyeglasses.
Oh shit.
One of the stockings are higher
sorry, I
than the
just
other. They
peeked
with
in
her
my mouth a little.
flip flops.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, teacher,
She got a
teacher,
hunchback, liver spots.
She probably dropped her
Oh.
pencils on
Crossface.
purpose. Go tell UK, go pick that up for me.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Go pick that up.
She
Yeah.
puts her teeth in the glass.
Like, oh, I like them husky.
Oh my goodness. No. Oh no.
God damn, son.
Oh my god. She got a foggy eye.
Oh my
Public
God.
school, everybody.
Yep. Public
Right.
school. Yep.
Well, let me rub your head.
Oh,
Oh
damn.
my god.
Put
Smells
some
like
in your
icy
hair.
hot and gay.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
She eats anchovies for lunch every day.
Oh. Sticks her dentures out.
Or prune juice.
Like,
in her
I'll
travel
bring your
mug.
apple to work. Don't worry
Aw.
about it. You ain't gotta bring her
She can't
apple.
eat
She
the
gonna
apple.
bring you an apple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bring
she
her
got
applesauce.
dentures. Yeah, she needs applesauce.
Applesauce.
Yeah.
She
You
drinks it with a straw.
She gonna show you
Oh,
how to
God.
take them dentures out.
gotta drink it with a
Oh,
straw in
God,
front of you.
please.
Like
Next.
super sexual.
Next
Oh,
topic.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Should we
good
No,
use
joke
this
right
podcast,
there.
How to Make Everyone Uncomfortable 101.
Right? Everyone's like, all right, I'm leaving this podcast. Goodbye.
Everybody turn the podcast off. Well, that's enough podcast for today.
They're like, oh, like intriguing
Talking about
conversation. Oh,
teachers'
never mind, I'm out.
Oh,
That took a turn.
right? Yeah. I don't know.
We gotta wake them up in case they was falling asleep. They're awake now.
You can't start this.
Yeah, I did start it. I'm not gonna
I just
lie.
snitched on you.
Was that like
Oh,
one of your
yeah.
guys' teachers or something? That was pretty vivid, like detail wise.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I could like picture her, and I was like, "This is weird."
That big old hair roll on her
That made
neck.
me cry.
Oh, whoa!
They got hair coming out of it.
Yeah. My second grade teacher made me cry so many times because I was terrified.
Why?
She's like
Oh
a
my God.
cranky old lady who just
Oh.
screamed at all the kids, and I cried.
Yo, I think I
Passing
peed
gas
my
when you
pants
walk.
in
That
second
loose
grade.
booty.
That was lit.
You what? In
Just so you
second
know.
grade?
Peed my pants in second grade, just to piss the teacher off.
Pants.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I need
Oh,
to hear the
goodness.
story.
You showed her with your wet pants.
because I was sitting in class or
There we go.
whatever, and it was like second grade, and you know she's just being an asshole. Sounds like you're a fucking teacher, you know what I mean? Just like angry, old, wrinkly, fucking, just you know what I mean? And I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
teacher? And I just pissed, and it leaked everywhere, and it was the greatest thing because she had to
Nah.
clean it up. Right? I'm
I
sorry.
would have peed on her desk or something, but
You
I'm not
see,
gonna pee
you
on
are the
myself.
you see, you are the reason why they want more money.
Yeah, kids like you.
Like, screwed
Well,
you.
yeah.
Yep, that was her.
Can I mention this was a Christian school too? This was private Christian school.
So, like, was it like
You
Oh,
know.
yeah.
you were
Yeah,
being
kind
taught by
I
a
would have
nun?
peed on her
Oh
pants.
my
Oh,
God.
Scooty.
You were mean for none.
You know, I plead the fifth on this one, Ray. I'm out. I didn't just give all this evidence.
You already told
You
me
already
yourself.
did.
Too late.
Just
You
erase
already
it.
did.
Never
You
happened.
told us the
Edit
date,
it out,
time,
MJ. Edit
location.
it out.
But here's
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
got it.
Here's the thing. Back then,
No, don't edit it out.
back then, the teacher probably had to clean that up. But these days, they have janitors.
Now they got
for that.
someone
It's all
else.
custodian.
Janitor's the one who
Custodians.
should be on strike. They don't get paid enough for what they do.
Right. I think
Actually-
they
actually
see how
some
much they
could-
make. They get paid decent.
Some custodians make more than teachers.
Yeah, hold up.
No,
This
no,
Yeah.
no. Both of my
shit
parents
that
were
I
custodians.
see.
Yeah.
I've
Custodian
seen
salary.
mistreatment.
It says, oh, this is 2015, but it says $23,000.
Oh, that's
The
bad.
custodians?
Well, I
Yeah.
got a
Custodians
buddy
don't make
who's
a lot.
a custodian,
With what
but
they
he's
deal with fish.
not at a school. Check a
Yeah.
custodian
Let me-
that's not at a school. You
Yeah,
know,
schools
like-
custodians probably don't make as much. For some reason, you think they'd make more?
All right.
Yeah, they gotta clean up the,
It
door,
says,
the throw up.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross. Elementary and high
I'm
school
under the
offers
desk.
most jobs for janitors, blah, blah, blah. They also boasted highest wages for professions, average salary of $13 an hour or $20,000 a year. That's the school.
I can't live off that.
Damn, I make $8.10.
Right,
Not many
I was
places you
making
can live
12.
off that.
Oh, I'm gonna be quiet in this thread.
Yeah, don't throwing your dollars around.
Yeah, you probably make mad money because you work for the government, huh?
Dude,
The average around here is 8.10. 8.10 here is the
Do you
average of what you make.
Do you wanna donate some money to Vex's fund for
Yes.
broke college student?
Right,
Scooty also has a fund.
Y'all need a live-in butler. You need a live-in butler.
No, we don't need none of that. No, we
Want to
don't need
adopt
that.
another man-child?
Well, my wife don't make that much money. My wife, that's not much money.
Only. You hear this guy?
Only.
Next topic,
Jeez.
please.
All right, I'm out.
You have two
I gotta
incomes,
go.
so only not bad.
Right, only. That's one.
Yeah, that's
Only.
not even half of what I
Okay.
make.
God
Oh,
damn, son.
okay. Next.
I need to get into what you're in.
Stop.
Holy
Let me
shit.
stop.
Next topic. What else you got for us?
All right, so now
Beep,
we
beep,
are all
we're
going
leaving.
to find Star. We're going
I
to
get paid.
murder him,
Look,
and we're going
I
to
pay
steal
all
all
our
his money.
bills.
I'm kidding.
I pay all our bills, and then I still have to play with her paycheck.
I'll be
I want to make sure I
yeah.
send her just that part of this podcast. I'm gonna.
And-
Oh, make
slice
sure you
it and
take
send
all
her
that out.
just that part.
That's personal in nature.
Nope.
Okay, take those out. All right.
Oh,
Okay, I'll take that.
leave it in. Just kidding.
Leave it.
It's crazy.
Next.
I think that's really
Oh,
all we
I know a
got for
millionaire.
this
That's pretty cool.
week. Oh, God.
And guess what?
You make as much as LeBron
I'm
James.
smarter than the teacher. You know why I'm smarter than the teacher? I didn't graduate college. I didn't graduate though.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, I went to a trade school.
I don't mean I'm smart teacher per se. Let me put a censor on it. I mean that I made better life choices. And I ain't got to
Different
clean up the
life. I would
put
say
up with
different life choices.
horrible children.
No,
Yeah,
not
different.
necessarily
Thank you.
better.
Different. Yeah, different. That works. I'm sorry. I'm not talking bad about teachers. I love teachers. It's just that what they're doing right now just really aggravates me because my kids have been home for like 2 weeks.
I bet they're happy about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
happy, but
didn't they get pay
I'm
raise?
not feeling it.
The freaking teachers. They won, right?
Actually,
think
they're
they went
agreed. Oklahoma, they haven't won officially yet. They agreed to give them a pay raise, but they tied it to waste management. They tied their pay raise to waste management. So the issue that teachers are having with that is that no, they want their own budget. You understand with that extra money, not tied to anything because normally when your money get tied to other things, they start to chip away at
You
it.
get leftovers. Yeah.
No.
No?
They start to chip away at like earmarks. You know what an earmark is, right?
I do not. Explain to us all.
Okay. Here we go. So when the government makes a bill, you may have like trillion pieces, like they're called like earmarks, like little pockets of money, instead that get allocated to other stuff. You understand? Most of the, I'm not gonna say all the time, but most of the time that other money doesn't get used. You understand? So they start to chip away
So
at
what
it and
happens is-
reallocate it to other stuff.
Okay.
You understand?
Gotcha.
So teachers are asking for their own set budget for their money. You understand? So they can't start chipping away at it. Because over time, eventually, they can just take it from them. Like, yeah, we don't need to pay them that. You know, which is what they did, actually. What they did in the first place. Like a year ago in Oklahoma, the governor gave them a $6,000 pay raise, and they tied it to waste management. So the whole strike is over. You just gave us extra money, and now that money finna expire. Right? So now we're finna go back to where we were. Because they had like a 3-day strike about a year ago. You understand, over more money. But they wanted to strike. The governor gave them an extra $6,000 a year per teacher. You understand? And now that's about to expire. And the governor, the reason it's taking so long this time is because the governor said, hey, I don't give a damn. I'm not running for re-election. Fuck you. I'm not paying you that extra money.
Damn.
You know, and I strongly support the governor. But I don't agree with the fact. I don't agree with that. Hey, it took you to say you're not running for re-election to do it. Me, you gotta put your neck up on your foot on people's neck. I'm sorry that I'm trying to get over on you. You understand? Which, I mean, honestly, if you just let a bully punk you every day, you understand? Every day, what he's gonna continue to do? What? Punk you.
Keep bullying.
You understand? Yeah. He's gonna keep bullying you. You understand? Eventually, you gotta stand your ground.
So
I mean, what's to stop them? What's to stop them from asking for more money after this money? If they know all they got to do is striking, they're gonna get more money. You
right,
understand?
Just keep striking. Hey, we need some more money. Let's strike again.
It's like somebody blackmail you for $1,000. They spend that $1,000. It's like, oh, how can I get more money? Oh, let's blackmail them again. On the same thing. Just keep blackmailing and blackmailing and until all your needs are eventually paid by this person, or you get everything you want and you still coming back. But the thing is, the more I take from my wealth and give to you, the less wealth I have. You understand? Eventually, I had to secure my wealth. You understand? Because I believe it or not, I worked for that. I had to secure that. You understand? I can't secure that by simply giving everybody handouts. You understand? That's why I don't give broke people money. Well, bums money that I see on the street. I can just look at them. I'm sorry, I don't. I look at them and I be like, hey.
Well, you look at them and you feel offended.
No, I look at them. I tell them to come to the car. No. Like I literally done this. I did this before. I told the bum, come get
your hands off my car.
Come here, check it out. I just got a new car per se. You know, come here.
Oh, here we go.
And I'll be like, check it out. All right. Why are you here? You understand? I asked them why they're there. I asked this guy, I did this early. I asked this dude, why is he here? You understand? The guy tells me that he's there. He owns a house. This dude owned a house. He's there because he had PTSD. He didn't want to get a job. And that, hey, he makes more money doing this.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
That's why they're because they make more money than some people working. Yeah.
They make bank.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how much money? It was a video on YouTube. This dude out there collecting money for that says veteran, right? I understand. I'm a veteran myself. I support my veteran. I support people that did come back towards. I support that. I've been to war. They've been to war. You understand? I understand this. And I've been in it. You understand? I understand that some people can get hit by mortars and that live on posts, and some people can get blown up, you know, just out there driving the convoy to from one fob to the next, and it can do some serious damage, you know, and you can lose your friend. You can lose your friend who's been sitting right next to you, you know, every day, and you talk to her, you just look up and he's gone. You understand? I understand that can scar a person mentally. I understand that. You understand? I understand PTSD is a serious case. But at the same time, it's more people out there living with PTSD, you understand, and surviving
that are still
and working.
Functioning. Yeah.
Exactly. You understand? So why can't you? You understand? So I told this dude. Wait, I'm not finished.
Sorry, real quick.
I'm not finished.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
It said a beggar in Oklahoma City makes $60K per year or $30 per hour average. An actual homeless person who runs a blog stated that he makes between $15 and $30 per hour, but it's usually closer to $15 per hour on average. This was back in 2013. But go ahead with your PTSD. Sure.
All right. Well, so I got this. I told, hey, I'll take you to McDonald's right now. You fill out this application. I'm not gonna give you no money, but I'll take you to get a job. He said no. I make more money out here.
That's good.
I'm just saying. That's why I don't give people money when I find them on the street. You know, I look at them. If I got like a bottle of water, I give them the bottle of water. You understand? If I got a sandwich,
sometimes they'll refuse that.
Hey, you know I threw that bottle of water. Let's be honest.
I give him a bottle.
Water been in my car. He been out there sweating all day. Oh, with the smell that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna be honest about it. But I give him a bottle of water.
Have you ever had a homeless person like refuse water or food because they're just making money and that's all they want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
I've had a homeless person do that to me. I went to McDonald's and actually bought them a meal, and I brought it back to them, and they completely refused it. They said, "I want money instead."
Damn.
And I was like, "Damn."
I respect the ones with the signs that say, "I'm going to spend your money on alcohol or cigarettes." I respect those that are honest
or something. Yeah.
about to take your money. Drugs or alcohol, and they put it on their sign. They're like, "Hey, this is what I'm about to use your money for." I respect that.
No, but they wouldn't get no money. Why would you do that? You ain't getting no.
Some people still will.
Okay, let's ask everybody here. All right, Vex, would you give somebody money if they had a sign that said, "I need money for drugs and alcohol"?
Would I give them that money? Probably not.
Exactly. Ain't nobody finna give nobody no money with a sign.
I bet you in Vegas they would. In a party city like Vegas or
there's different people with different opinions.
That's because I'm drunk and I'm trying to party. Right. And he trying to keep it going too. I'll sprinkle a little crumb for him. Sprinkle a little.
There you go.
There you go. Here you go, $10. Keep the party going.
But I live in New York, near New York City, so I spend a lot of time down there. And you have a lot of homeless people, not necessarily veterans, but they're just for whatever reason they're homeless. They're literally living on the sidewalks, and a lot of them have the signs to like drop money. So a lot of times, like occasionally when I'm down in the city, I keep like a few bucks and like singles or whatever in my wallet. Some people have like kids with them. If they have like kids with them, I'll drop them like $1 or $2, just a little something. But I went to France with my high school, so obviously my high school is like on the more wealthier side.
Rich high school.
It was I was lucky and had like a pretty good public school. Like you always hear horror stories, public schools. I had a good public school. But we went on a trip to France, and they said, "Don't give any money to the homeless people." And we were like, "Why? We do it all the time in the cities here in America." And they're like, "Because 90% of those people are scams. They are wealth. They have enough money, but they just want money from the tourists." So they said, if you're going to give anyone anything, give them food. If they're really needy enough, give them food. Because if you're sitting on the streets begging for money, it's mostly because you need food, you need shelter. So like if you go try to give them a blanket, try to give them some food, and they refuse to take it, and all they do is constantly ask for money, they're like, it's going to be a scam because they just want your money as a tourist. They want you to give in. You don't know the language, you don't know the culture, so you're just going to give them money because they know here that if we see a homeless person on the street, we're more willing to like drop $1 or something like that.
Right.
So like I don't know. That was just my input on the.
Yeah, a lot of them are scams.
Different people. Even I'm not saying people in America don't scam. I actually have a few scammers around my neighborhood. Like we know them by now because we literally know where they live, like know where they work, and the fact that we know they have money, but they'll walk up to your car and be like, "We're broke and homeless. We have no money." I'm like, "You live down the street."
Right, exactly. Like you have a house.
No. Like, if you really need money for food and shelter, like you're saying, I'll take you for a meal. And they're like, "No, give me money." I'm like, "No."
Right, then you go spend on alcohol and drugs.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of people who actually have a home don't actually have money. You know what I'm saying? Well, what I mean is some people live with other people. You understand? Right. So I can understand. I can understand that some people who live with other people not having money. You understand? Just because you have a house, in my opinion, it doesn't mean that you have you have money. Because certain people in my family, I'm from Chicago, my dad. Certain people in my family actually let me use this. As a kid, I grew up in a house. It was in a pretty nice neighborhood in Chicago called Oak Park. You understand? I lived in the biggest house on the block, but it wasn't my house.
Still stunting on it.
You understand? It was my grandmother's house and my grandfather's house, and my grandmother and grandfather had 13 children. All were adults.
Yeah.
You understand? And all of them lived there too. You understand? And all the grandkids lived there. So in truth, did we really have money? Did we really have a big house? We did, based on the people that were living there people that were living there. We didn't have much at all.
Yeah.
Even though we
You had a
lived in the
roof
best
and a
neighborhood,
meal,
in the best house.
and you lived in a good
We
neighborhood
ain't have any
without
money though.
crime, without violence, without drugs.
Oh no. This
That's plenty of violence.
this is Chicago. Even in the best
Well, you
neighborhoods,
see a
there's
nice
gonna be some crime.
neighborhood. Oh, still crime? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice neighborhoods usually mean no crime.
I think it means lower crime for me. If you say
Okay.
a nice neighborhood.
Chicago nice neighborhoods mean you ain't graffiti everywhere, and they actually clean up. Let's put it that
Okay.
way.
I didn't know
You
that.
understand?
From Chicago.
Have you ever? Well, you have you been in New York?
No.
You from New York, right?
No.
How you
No,
been
I'm
to the
from Ohio.
city?
That's
I'm
facts.
Has anyone? One of y'all? Well, Ohio, yeah. Most of us from the Midwest, right? All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
East Coast, actually.
Have you ever? Shut up. Yeah, because
You're
there's
not
no
the
y'all
East Coast,
are
but
nowhere
yeah.
near the East Coast. You understand?
All right. If New York is considered East Coast. How is Ohio not considered East Coast?
Because I'm
Like,
legit
Pennsylvania
on
away from
the
here?
Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, like
The Hudson
we're
connects
literally
directly
a
to
state
the
away from New
ocean.
York.
Rip.
Canada.
I think y'all should be considered Midwest, and you know y'all should.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
I think we
It's
are
my
considered
opinion. I'm sticking
Midwest.
to it.
I don't
I
know.
No, I'm
think
talking about
Ohio's- Let me
Ohio.
look this up. Ohio, East Coast, or Midwest.
I
Continue.
don't know.
to-
Yeah.
Go what you were
Ohio's
saying.
trash
Though. We cut you
though.
off.
I hate it.
So,
Anyway.
anywho, you ever just walk down the street, some of these
All right, he's
neighborhoods,
right.
and you see
Ohio's
trash
considered
like
Midwest.
big fields. You see big fields of trash, right? Like with just trash everywhere.
Right.
You understand? That's how you know you in
Not
the
like landfill.
neighborhood. Based
Oh,
on no,
rip.
not landfill.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like if you like it seems like you can tell what type of neighborhood you in by the cleanliness of the neighborhood. I'm sorry.
oh yeah,
That's-
definitely.
I mean, the better neighborhoods actually hire people to keep that shit clean. You know, I'm just saying, from my experience in Chicago, you understand?
No, yeah, it's kind of the same in
basically that's how I rate my neighborhoods. This neighborhood
Alright.
was really clean.
Hey,
All right. I'm sorry. I'll tell long stories to explain my point.
no, we good.
The podcast
That's the
is
whole point of the
sense.
podcast.
It makes
Yeah.
sense because I don't live in New York City, but I'm there plenty. Like I've been to a lot of different parts. There's parts in New York City where celebrities live, and you're paying millions and millions for a tiny apartment the size of a closet. But then you walk a few blocks over, and it would literally feel like you're in the middle of the bad part of Chicago. Like, and
Yeah.
not only can you like feel it, but you can just see, like you can just look at around you and tell that like the area's changed. So I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same in Ohio. I bet it's the same like really everywhere. But I just
All right.
thank you for explaining.
You have your areas. All right.
You
we're about to
can't
move
tell
to
it it's the
another
same
segment.
everywhere but Ohio.
Oh my god. Anyway, next segment we like to call this part. What should we name this? Star's relationship advice.
Oh, God.
Star, you got any relationship advice for us bachelors and bachelorettes out there?
No.
Oh,
Never get married.
there you go.
Did you say
Oh, there
never?
you go.
get married?
Okay.
Never get
Never
married.
No,
I
I'm
like
married. I've been happily married for like 10, 11 years.
But then you
My
say
wife
not
ain't
get
around,
married.
so I can say. Well, I say don't get married because marriage. A lot of people ain't ready for marriage, in my opinion. You understand? In my opinion, I honestly got married way too early. You know, me personally.
How early
So,
is too early?
Well, for me, I got
Different
married
for
at 18.
everybody.
You
Oh,
understand?
damn.
That was way
18.
too early.
Right.
You understand? And I went through years and years of not being ready to be there, for lack of better words.
Okay.
You understand? Which I try to coach people to actually wait until they're really ready. You know, because it's unfair to you and it's unfair to her for you to jump into a marriage and you're not ready to be married. You know, you see, this is
believe
too
love is
serious.
real?
This is too serious for
No.
this forum. You know,
No, it's not. You don't understand. This podcast, we can talk about whatever we want. Do you feel love is real? Is love does love exist?
Yeah, love is
That
very
of our
real.
imagination.
No, love is
Real?
very
Okay.
real, in my opinion. For me, love is very real. But here's the thing: you can love somebody, you understand, not want to be with them. You understand? You can love somebody and still cheat on them. You can be in love with two people.
What? All right, wait, hold on.
Well,
All right.
Here we go.
explain it
Here
for
we go.
those-
No,
I,
no,
I
no,
understand.
no.
I understand exactly.
No,
what you
no,
said. But
no.
explain
Here we
it. I
go.
don't hear
Go
your
ahead.
point.
Come on.
Oh my
What you got?
I understood.
You could not love
Go ahead,
somebody and
Scooty,
cheat
what's
on
wrong
them
with you?
physically and
Why
just
not?
do that to somebody.
All right,
That's
what do you
shattering
think? What do you
someone's
think?
whole being most of the time. You're cheating on them and showing them that you're like
Yeah, you
they're
are.
not good enough. I mean, you don't love them. Obviously, if you're gonna cheat
I
on
did
somebody,
that.
you do not love them.
Look, listen.
Then you do
listen.
not love somebody
Listen,
if you cheat
listen.
on them. That's
Hold
my
on,
personal
hold on. Let him
opinion.
do his
No,
side.
no,
Let him do his side.
let me explain. Let me explain. Can I explain? Let me explain. Let me
Yeah.
explain.
Go ahead.
Have you
I'm
seen that? You
letting
seen
you
that video? No. That was a quote. That was a quote from a video. You remember that video I sent to UK when a black dude was
I don't
explaining
remember.
to the professor why he was his son.
I don't- yeah, I've seen that again. I
He
don't
was an
remember that.
Islamic person, right? He was a black Islamic person. He tried to explain to the Caucasian professor why he was his father.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah, you have to
explain.
resend that.
Okay.
Go ahead and explain yourself.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
waiting,
gonna
man.
send you that. I sent that to you. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
explain.
we need the answer
All right,
to
for
what you
instance,
just said. Go ahead.
okay, I cheated on. Well, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a bad guy. Whatever. I was a bad guy. I cheated on my wife before. You understand? Yeah, I did that. You understand? I still loved my wife when I did it. I was too young and inexperienced. You understand, to understand the pain and the feelings and everything that I was creating within her. You understand? You understand, to a point that when I was at a later date and age, let's say about 5 years ago, my wife cheated on me. You understand? It took that for me to actually experience and really feel how that felt. You understand? That didn't change the love that I had for my wife. You understand? I still loved her. It shattered me. Yes. It shattered me. I still loved her. You understand? She still loved me. You understand? Eventually that makes people actually work through, after you get through all that, you work through and you actually develop a higher place and a higher stage of love. In my opinion, you understand, we're stronger today
So you're
than
saying
we
you
have
should
ever been.
cheat on your significant other
No.
to achieve a
That's
higher
not what I'm
relationship
No,
saying.
he said
status?
that was his
I'm saying that
experience.
happened to me in my experience. The whole point of what I'm saying is that you can cheat and still love the person that you
This doesn't make sense to me.
That's what I'm trying
Because
to
you're
explain.
physically going through and cheating, and like you're thinking about it, you're
Physically.
doing it, but you're
He's not recommending it.
no,
I'm
I know,
not
but
recommending.
that's
I just
what
don't see
happened.
how
not
you love
recommending.
somebody. You can say, "Oh, I love you," okay, and then I'm gonna go sleep with this chick, or I'm gonna go sleep with this guy. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It
Well, other
does not
things
make
happen in
sense.
between.
Okay,
Yeah, it doesn't
that's
make-
why
love
that's
doesn't
why
make
I'm
sense.
explaining that I was young.
Yeah.
You understand? And in that state of mind that I was in, you understand, as men do. Well, I guess as men do, men don't. We don't. Well,
Think?
you know. Well, I use it as a person, not just a man, as a person. You know, because I don't want to sound sexist. You know, as a person, you understand. You learn through experiences. Most of the things that you learn and you develop, you learn through your experience, through your culture, through your upbringing, and what everything that you been through. You understand? You don't learn. Certain people haven't learned the same things. You understand? Because you haven't experienced the same things. That's like saying, for instance, somebody from let's say Japan, you understand, would not act the same or believe the same things that I believe because of my culture and my upbringing, being an American, right?
Right.
Is that true or false?
So Scooty,
No,
you may
I'm
not
getting to it.
forgive. You
I'm
don't
getting to it.
Okay.
Go ahead. I mean, I'm just
I was gonna say,
asking.
Scooty.
These are
Scooty
just
may
opinions.
not forgive the person,
you know.
or
These are my opinions.
she don't have the same views, or forgive the person. You don't have to. That's your choice.
Right.
But he's saying from his point of view and their experiences, they forgave each other. They moved on. But
Right.
for you may not be able to forgive and move on. So it was just
Exactly.
he's just telling you
Right,
what
I get
happened
it.
with his situation.
I just
So he's not recommending it. He's not approving
not-
it.
I
He's
am not
telling people to
recommending
go do it. He's not excusing people but this is just how him and his wife decide to deal with the situation. So obviously you have different views, and that's okay.
Right. Everybody has different
views. He's just saying how they got.
I was just putting my view out
right.
there.
So,
it's just talking.
Right.
All right. I'm not saying I am not
behavior.
by no means at all saying that this is a appropriate behavior or a way to move forward. Suggesting that anybody should do it. You understand? I'm telling my story and what I did and what I went through and how I feel today that my marriage is stronger than it has ever been. You know, but
makes sense.
Part of my story, you understand, was that due to my life experience, I didn't know how it felt to be cheated on. You understand? Right. So when I did it, it's not because I didn't love that person. It was because I was young and I was still chasing the experience that I felt I didn't experience. I didn't have the chance to experience. You understand? Like being, that's why that's another reason why I say people shouldn't get married early. You understand? Because I got married at 18. You understand? When you get married, you say, hey, this is who I want to be. This is the only person I want to do X, Y, Z and move on and build life with. You understand? That's my opinion. You understand? I feel. You understand? But at 18, I don't think you have the rational mind, to actually make such a commitment. You understand? Because I certainly did not, because I was in the military. You understand? My first duty station was Osan, Korea. You understand? My wife was in college at the time. You understand? In college. She did go to Korea with me. Any man, anybody that's been in the army, you understand, know the experiences and the situations that you're put in as an 18-year-old kid in Korea. You understand? You're basically throwing money. I was making $3,000 a month. You understand? Yeah. I didn't have to pay rent. I didn't have to pay for food. I didn't have to pay for anything. So all that money, and all my friends around me were single and 18 years and younger. You understand?
Yeah.
So our whole experience with Korea was, time to go party every fucking day. Party. You understand? We went to the club at least six days out of 7-day week. At least 6 days a week. You understand? That's what I'm saying. With my experience and what I've been through, you understand? My wife was nowhere around. It started off, my first couple of months there, you understand? I was faithful. I ran a straight toe. You understand? I was faithful as shit. You understand? I didn't talk to anyone. Females tried to approach me. I didn't talk to them. You understand? I didn't say anything to them. I'll say, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to meet you, but I'm married. Move on. You understand? The first 3 months. All right, but it just keep coming at you. It just keep coming at you. How many times do you expect me to say no? With my wife always in Chicago, and I was young. I thought marriage, at that age, marriage was just something, I like her, marry her. Yeah. I agree with Vex here, actually. At that age, I don't think I really loved my wife or knew what love was.
I think it was Scooty that was saying it.
Well, Scooty.
Apparently, Vex were the same person. So.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't think I really knew what love was at that age. I don't think I really knew what love was. You understand? Thinking back on it, you understand? Because I was wild. After that first 3 months, it was over. It was over.
I don't know. Maybe that's the difference between male and females. I don't know. I've never been wild like that.
I'm not gonna get into numbers, but I was wild.
Oh God.
It was bad.
Save some face here.
I feel like this also comes into a bit
That's
of...
what I'm trying to do. It was bad.
Yeah. I feel like the reason you two also don't share the same views on this is that there is a bit of a difference between male and female and like emotional connections that I've realized.
A lot of different.
Where
a lot of difference.
Yeah.
So
it was.
I mean, that
I prefer
doesn't go with
females,
everybody,
but you know.
Yeah, it was a rough.
There's more of emotion
situation.
Yeah.
All right.
But I get it from your point of view. I didn't mean to come off like attacking or anything like that because it wasn't.
No.
Just throwing my opinion out there.
I love it. I love people who are themselves. To be honest, I mean, you can come across and like say if you strongly feel a way about something, you strongly feel that way. I mean,
right.
It's America. It's the greatest country in the world.
People feel very strongly about a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I don't think 18 is a great age for that. Moving on.
That's your relationship advice? Hell yeah! What a hell of a segment.
My relationship advice. All right. The moral of the story is don't get married at 18.
Right. Good advice.
And wait.
I like it.
All right. So if we don't have
until
any
you're
more
ready
topics,
for marriage, because it's unfair.
I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show.
You're not ready, and you get married. Boom.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Star.
Sounds good.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this up if we don't have any more topics.
This is wrap it up.
ControllerSide chat. I'm UKGTR.
I'm Vex.
And we got our two guests, Star and Scooty. I hope you enjoyed our second episode of our podcast. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Everybody want to say bye? Go ahead.
Bye, guys.
Stars out. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. If I did.
Yeah, the teachers can be on ride on you.
Same. Scooty's also out.
We'll put his address down in the descriptions of everything.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'll put his email address. Hey. All right, we're out of here.